Hi, Jay here. Tonight we're going to talk about my Mosin Nagant. Wait a minute. This doesn't look like a Mosin Nagant. This is a carbon-filled plastic stock. Wait a minute. These were built in 1891. Oh, that's right. Actually, what we're reviewing tonight is the Archangel, or Archangel. I don't know exactly how they want to pronounce it, Archangel, but the Mosin Nagant replacement stock. This is the standard Mosin Nagant wooden stock. As you can tell, one of the big differences is in the stock, it's got a 5-round internal magazine, whereas this one has a magazine well, and I'll get into that in just a second. For those of you that don't know what a Mosin Nagant is, it was designed in 1891. I think it was a Colonel Mosin in the Russians, and Nagant was, I think, a Belgian who designed something about the internal magazine, Nagant system. You know, like you hear about Mannlichers and stuff like that. Sometimes they would name it for, you know, the weapon for different parts that were designed by different people. But anyway, it was designed in 1891, produced well up into the 1930s. I don't know if they kept producing them after World War II, but I know the carbines were produced. Like, I've got a 1943 carbine, which is really rare. It was one of 50,000 test pieces. But I know in 44 they switched over and started doing a carbine. And there's been different lengths. This is the rifle length. As you can see, it's quite large. And then the carbon length is about like that. But you got to take the bayonet off. And I don't want to screw my carbine up because it's a rare version. So this is actually a pretty good rifle too. It's a Hex Receiver, which means this part right here is cut in a hex shape. And it's an early one in the 30s and 20s that these were made. And they're more accurate, supposedly. I'll talk about that. But the Mosin Nagant was a like the Springfield. Actually, you could go back to the the 1890s with the 30-40 Krag. This was the competition. And then you had the Springfield. It's definitely a long distance weapon. It's not for short range. They did, like I said, make a carbine, but this is definitely a full barrel rifle. This is what the cartridge looks like, and as you can tell, that's a fairly big round compared to, say, a 223 or an AK round, a 7.62 by 39, which are only about that long. This is considered a full battle rifle round. So anyway, the Mosins came in this, like I said, with this nice wooden stock, with an internal 5-round magazine. That's just the way they are, bolt action. This one, like I said, has a magazine well, and it comes with a 5-round magazine in the package, or you can buy 10-round magazines, which is what I did. I bought some extra 10 rounds. So now you've got a 10-round bolt action long distance rifle, and I'm taking this as a range, and I cannot wait to do it on the 300-yard range. And yes, it has iron sights. Some of the people are taking their bolt handles and replacing them with the turn-down sniper handle that lays like this on the side, and because that way it instead of coming straight up and back with the sniper handle, it only comes to here and goes back. And then they can mount a scope. Some people drill out the receiver in this area and put a standard scope rail. Others drill out the side, and they use. Most of them use a PU or PEM sniper mount from the World War II time. Some have the new AK rail that they mount. And others replace the iron sight leaf, this thing here. They take it out, and they put a scope mount up here, and it's called a sniper scope. So instead of the scope being like right here by your eye, it's down here at the bottom. So you're actually looking far away into the scope, which I don't like. I'm probably going to keep irons on here for a while. I'm really digging irons right now. I don't know why. I'm blind as a bat, but I'm really digging them. The stock itself, depending on where you get it from, runs anywhere from $140 to $189. Cheaper than dirt's where I got this. I got the khaki, or flat dark earth. They also make it in olive drab green and a black. And all the magazines and stuff are. Ooh, glad there wasn't nothing in there. I'll get into my trigger in a minute. That was a bad no-no. But I'd already safety checked it before I filmed. But All the furniture, the rest of the furniture besides the stock comes black, the magazines and everything. But I kind of like that. That's a nice dual color kind of set off thing. And one of the things I like, it's got a adjustable, click adjustable cheek rail and a cheek adjustable buttstock for length of pull. With me, my short ass arms, I don't need to worry about that. Again, it's got the magazine. They're designed to free float. However, there is a block inside of here that if your rifle is not accurate with free floating barrels, because it tends to wobble, you can actually, there's a little hidden Allen screw here, actually tighten it down, and it actually tightens a V block so it braces the barrel. Sort of back to where you were with the Mosin in the wooden stock. The reason people buy this stock is because the Mosins are obscenely cheap. Mosin, obscene, anyway. You can get a Mosin Nagant, like the regular, you know, round, mass-produced, late 30s, early 40s, at the gun shows. I've seen as cheap as $69. Now, they're not going to be that low again. That was a couple of years ago. But, I mean, they're still just a little over $100. And you can buy 440 rounds in a 10 for $88. So, at the time, the hell is that? So at the time, for about $170 out the door, you could get a functional, large caliber hunting rifle or whatever rifle, and 440 rounds of ammo for like like I said, 170 bucks. The ammo's still about that cheap. I managed to suck up a couple of the steel box, 440 rounds. I think I've got like 1,600 rounds of the standard Mosin, which is this. Now, I'm not going to dig it out, but I've also got 500 rounds of 1953 brass Yugoslavian. I was telling my wife I was kidding. I said, maybe I should do like a radiation check on those. 1953? But these are steel case, so you just throw them away after you shoot them, like all the Russian stuff. Corrosive, so you have to clean it after you shoot it every time. And I'm fairly sure these are 147 grain. I think my brass ones and some of the newer stuff's 180 grain, which this will shoot fine. I've also got a PSL, which is a semi-automatic that shoots this, and they don't recommend the larger, heavier loads for that, but people are shooting it anyway. So anyway, to recap, I got a Archangel stock for my 1933 Hex Receiver Mosin Nagant rifle. It uses 5 and 10 round mags. Put the safety on this time. Some of the other things, like I said, I bought 4 of the 10 round mags, 4 of these, and it came with a 5. I also bought the Timney trigger. The trigger on these are only like 2 parts. It's like a lever and a screw and a swivel point. I mean, there's nothing to it. The Timney trigger, they made their name making competition triggers for ARs, and it's a little box that goes in here. Now, they're like $92, the cheapest I found them, and that's fairly expensive for a trigger, but, and again, let me safety check. Nothing in there. Let's see. I'll get it out in a minute. I'm not gonna like all like, but it's safety check. So one of the things I like about the Timney trigger is it's smooth as glass. I mean, it is got a definite break point. It's like 3 pounds or 5 pounds. It's not much. Nice trigger. And the guns are inherently fairly accurate anyway. So I really can't wait to get to the range and get up on this one. The stock itself, like I said, it's 140 something bucks to 190 bucks, depending on where you get it. It's a carbon filled glass reinforced nylon. Well, they don't tell you, but I'm assuming it's nylon. It's got several different features compared to the standard Mosin stock. First of all, it's got this gooseneck, and that's so you can grab it like a pistol. It's easier to, you know, when you're shooting, it's much easier to hold it this way than to hold it like this, where you're cranking your wrist over. It's got, like I said, the click adjustable length of pull and the cheek rest. It's got a V block to tighten down on your barrel. It's replaceable magazines. I mean, it's quite a nice little package. And I'm sure you're going, well, and how hard is it? It took like 5 minutes. Literally, I popped the bands off, I popped the front sight off, I knocked off the front sight, it just slides on a dovetail. Knocked it off, took the bands off, took the stock off, set it in here, popped off one screw, put the Timney trigger on, tighten it down, put it in here, tighten down 2 screws, done. Put the front sight back on. So, I mean, it was that simple. I put this thing together in like 20 minutes. And that included putting the trigger on. I probably could have done it in 10 if I didn't have to do the trigger. So I'll have some videos of me shooting this. I think this is a little long for the stock combination, but we'll see. I don't mind it, but it is, if you're looking like way back from it, it is quite long. That's what she said. But I don't think so. I might have to go get me like a cheap, because they're all cheap. Cheap carbine. I think you can get the Chinese ones, Type 57s, I think they are, don't quote me. Maybe it's Type 53. You can get those carbines for a couple $100. Carbines are always more expensive than the rifles. And I can go back and take off the bayonet, because it's got the slung bayonet on it. Take that off, and it should only be about that long. But I'm going to rock it as it is and see how it goes. Another good thing, this has also got a built-in rubber pad on it, which, you know, the standard Mosins have a nice steel pad. Yeah, that'll feel good when you shot about 100 rounds of this big ass round here. It'll get you. So that's good. A lot of people add rubber stocks to that, but you don't have to. It seems well built. It's solid. It doesn't rattle. I like it. And when I get to go shoot it, I'll let you know how it is. Oh, with the Timney trigger, it's already cut out for the Timney trigger. The Timney trigger comes with a cool safety lever right there on the side. Instead of having to pull this has got a safety, but it's like a 28-pound spring or something. But so now you got this little instant on, instant off kind of safety lever. And eventually I'll put the sniper bolt on here and put a scope on it. But for right now, I'm going to rock it like it is. Anyway, this is Jay. Have a good night. Keep shooting.